Hey, what's up, Cedar Grove Christian Church? Pastor Rob here this morning. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. This morning I want to talk to you a little bit about the idea of judgment. As we've been preaching through the book of Jeremiah, we've had to wrestle with this issue quite a bit on Sunday mornings. But it is an issue that flies contrary to our culture. It's an issue that flies contrary to what people believe to be acceptable for Christians to do. In fact, one of the most misquoted verses of Scripture comes from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7, where people love to hold on to the verse 1 of the chapter, where Jesus says, "Do not judge so that you won't be judged." And they take this and they run with it and they say, you can't judge me. You can't pass judgment on my lifestyle, my choices. You can't pass judgment on what I choose to do, because if you do, you're in violation of your Scripture. But is that what it says? Let's find out. Join with me in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7, starting at verse 1. Do not judge so that you won't be judged. For you will be judged by the same standard with which you judge others, and you will be measured by the same measure you use. Why do you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but don't notice the beam of wood in your own eye? Or how can you say to a brother, let me take the splinter out of your eye, and look, there is a beam of wood in your own eye? Hypocrite! First take the beam of wood out of your eye, and then you will see clearly to take the splinter out of your brother's eye. It seems so simple, doesn't it? Do not judge, lest you be judged. At least that's what our society would have us believe. But that's not what Jesus is saying. No, what Jesus is saying is, do not judge hypocritically. Because the false standard that you use to pass judgment will be held against you. The legalistic measure that you use to judge other people will be used as you are judged. Jesus is not condemning passing judgment against someone's immoral lifestyle. Jesus is not condemning passing judgment in the wake of doing the work of the ministry. No. Jesus is condemning you and I passing faulty, hypocritical judgment. That is what Jesus is condemning. His instruction here is simple. Be careful how you judge. And even before you consider passing judgment, you better check your own heart first. You better ensure that you yourself are not guilty of the same sin that you are accusing your brother or sister of. You had better examine yourself and take care of your own house before you try to take care of somebody else's house. It's so easy though, isn't it? It's so easy to pass judgment on somebody else. It's so easy to point out somebody else's wrongdoing. It's so much harder to look within. So much harder to focus on what we need to work on, where we need to improve. Church, this morning I want to challenge you and encourage you that by passing godly judgment, you are not doing anything wrong. But before you pass judgment on someone's lifestyle, you must be careful to do the self-examination to ensure that you yourself are living right before God. We are not condemned from passing judgment, but we are instructed to be careful on how we judge other people. So before you call out your brother for looking at lustful images, are you yourself struggling with pornography? Before you call out your sister for her wild living, are you maintaining your purity? Before you call out your brother for not coming to church on Sunday morning, are you actively in your life pursuing Christ every single day? Before you call out your spouse on their lack of affection, Are you showing them the same love that Christ has called them to show you? Are you imitating Christ for them? The command not to judge is not to pass any judgment. The command is to judge rightly. As Jesus says in the Gospel of John, chapter 7, verse 24, when he's responding to the Pharisees and Sadducees after they've tried to trap him in something that he says during the Festival of Shelters, he says this: "Stop judging according to outward appearances. Rather, judge according to righteous judgment." And the measuring line for that judgment is not our opinions. It is not our preferences. It is Jesus Christ and God's holy word. Church, I love you. Make sure that if you are passing judgment, if you are judging someone's actions, their immorality, that you've examined yourself first. God bless. That's all I have for you. We'll see you back here on Friday.